What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Artist Reads the Bible. Today we're going to be starting with number 16. And 16 is pretty long. 17 is like super short though, so I might do 17 too. 18 is super long. We'll see how I feel after 16, but 17's like maybe 6 paragraphs. No, that's more than that. It's like 2 lines. I don't know. Not lines. Like 2 of these here. Not very long. I guess it'd be 1 page. Oh, as usual, got my highlighter, got my decaf Java juice, and I got the living word of God right here. Speaking of decaf Java juice, let me get some. Love coffee. Of course, I'm sure y'all already know that already. Mittens, one of our cats, is trapped in here with me. She's not a happy camper. She don't like closed doors. She get over it. All right, let's get started. Let me get these spectacles off. Oh, wore out, boy. 16. One day, Korah, son of Ishar, a descendant of Kohath, son of Levi, conspired with Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, son of Peleth, from the tribe of Reuben. They incited a rebellion against Moses, along with 250 other leaders of the community, all prominent members of the assembly. They united against Moses and Aaron and said, "You have gone too far. The whole community of Israel has been set apart by the Lord, and he is with all of us. What right do you have to act as though you are greater than the rest of the Lord's people?" When Moses heard what they were saying, he fell down on the ground. Then he said to Korah and his followers, "Tomorrow morning the Lord will show us who belongs to him and who is holy. The Lord will allow, nose itching. The Lord will allow only those whom he selects to enter his own presence. Korah, you and all your followers must prepare your incense burners. Light fires in them tomorrow and burn incense before the Lord. Then we will see whom the Lord chooses as his Holy One. You Levites are the ones who have gone too far." Then Moses spoke again. Oh, I apologize. My nose is itching. I think it's chlorine from the pool. Then Moses spoke again to Korah. "Now listen, you Levites, does it seem insignificant to you that the God of Israel has chosen you from among all the community of Israel to be near him, so you can serve in the Lord's tabernacle and stand before the people to minister to them? Korah, he has already given this special ministry to you and your fellow Levites. Are you now demanding the priesthood as well? The Lord is the one you and your followers are really revolting against. For who is Aaron that you are complaining about him?" Then Moses summoned Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, but they replied, "We refuse to come before you. Isn't it enough that you brought us out of Egypt, a land flowing with milk and honey, to kill us here in this wilderness, and that you now treat us like your subjects? What's more, you haven't brought us into another land flowing with milk and honey." That's because you're not going to get it. God already said you ain't getting it. "You haven't given us a new homeland with fields and vineyards. Are you trying to fool these men? We will not come." Then Moses became very angry and said to the Lord, "Do not accept their grain offerings. I have not taken so much as a donkey from them, and I have never heard a single one of them." And Moses said to Korah, "You and all your followers must come here tomorrow and present yourselves before the Lord. Aaron will also be here. You and each of your 250 followers must prepare an incense burner and put incense on it, so you can all present them before the Lord. Aaron will also bring his incense burner." So each of these men prepared an incense burner, lit the fire, and placed incense on it. Then they all stood at the entrance of the tabernacle, with Moses and Aaron. Meanwhile, Korah had stirred up the entire community against Moses and Aaron, and they all gathered at the tabernacle entrance. Then the glorious presence of the Lord appeared to the whole community, and the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Get away from all these people, so that I may instantly destroy them." But Moses and Aaron fell face down on the ground. "Oh God," they pleaded, "you are the God who gives breath to all creatures. Must you be angry with all the people when only one man sins?" And the Lord said to Moses, "Then tell all the people to get away from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram." So Moses got up and rushed over to the tents of Dathan and Abiram, followed by the elders of Israel. "Quick," he told the people, "get away from the tents of these wicked men, and don't touch anything that belongs to them. If you do, you will be destroyed for their sins." So all the people stood back from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. Then Dathan and Abiram came out and stood at the entrances of their tents, together with their wives and children and little ones. And Moses said, "This is how you will know that the Lord has sent me to do all these things that I have done, for I have not done them on my own. If these men die a natural death, or if nothing unusual happens, then the Lord has not sent me. But if the Lord does something entirely new, and the ground opens its mouth and swallows them and all their belongings, and they go down alive into the grave, then you will know that these men have shown contempt for the Lord." He had hardly finished speaking the words when the ground suddenly split open beneath them. The earth opened its mouth and swallowed the men, along with their households and all their followers who were standing with them, and everything they owned. So they went down alive into the grave, along with all their belongings. The earth closed over them, and they all vanished from among the people of Israel. All the people around them fled when they heard their screams. "The earth will swallow us too," they cried. Then fire blazed forth from the Lord and burned up the 250 men who were offering incense. And the Lord said to Moses, "Tell Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, to pull all the incense burners from the fire, for they are holy. Also tell him to scatter the burning coals. Take the incense burners of these men who have sinned at the cost of their lives, and hammer the metal into a thin sheet to overlay the altar. Since these burners were used in the Lord's presence, they have become holy. Let them serve as a warning to the people of Israel." So Eleazar the priest collected the 250 bronze incense burners that had been used by the men who died in the fire, and the bronze was hammered into a thin sheet to overlay the altar. This would warn the Israelites that no unauthorized person, no one who was not a descendant of Aaron, should ever enter the Lord's presence to burn incense. If anyone did, the same thing would happen to him as happened to Korah and his followers. So the Lord's instructions to Moses were carried out. But the very next morning, the whole community of Israel began muttering again against Moses and Aaron, saying, "You have killed the Lord's people." As the community gathered to protest against Moses and Aaron, they turned toward the tabernacle and saw that the cloud had covered it, and the glorious presence of the Lord appeared. Moses and Aaron came and stood in front of the tabernacle, and the Lord said to Moses, "Get away from all these people so that I can instantly destroy them." But Moses and Aaron fell face down on the ground. And Moses said to Aaron, "Quick, take an incense burner and place burning coals on it from the altar. Lay incense on it and carry it out among the people. Purify them, make them right with the Lord. The Lord's anger is blazing against them. The plague has already begun." Aaron did as Moses told him and ran out among the people. The plague had already begun to strike down the people, but Aaron burned the incense and purified the people. He stood between the dead and the living, and the plague stopped. But 14,700 people died in that plague, in addition to those who had died in the affair involving Korah. Then, because the plague had stopped, Aaron returned to Moses at the entrance of the tabernacle. That's 16. I think I am going to read 17, but I need some coffee. Well, I'll tell you what, if that does not prove that God has more patience than any of us put together, I don't know what does. Israelites just continuously disobeyed him, was rebellious against him, second guessed him. I mean, just constantly. And because of Moses and Aaron, he spared quite a few of them. Whew, man, I tell you what. I tell you what. If I'd heard God's voice like they did back then, and he said to go walk the earth for 40 years, I'm not questioning it. Because if God said do it, I mean, that's not what they're doing, but well, it is what they're doing. But if God said to do it, I'm not going to question it, because I know he's going to provide me with food. He's going to provide me with water. He's going to keep me safe. I'll do what God says. You know, God says a lot of things in the Bible that is hard for us to follow nowadays. You know, like gluttony. How many of us have overfilled at a buffet, or ate too much pizza, or snacked on too many chips, or drank too much pop, or beer or whatever. I don't drink beer, but I know a lot of guys that do. And they drink a lot of it. Or alcohol. Or smoke too many cigarettes. I mean, a lot of things are sins that people don't realize. You know, they only want to look at the 10 Commandments, but there is a whole list. Pride, arrogance, gossiping. How many of us do that crap? Myself guilty of that one. Myself guilty of gluttony. I mean, look at this belly. I ain't pregnant. That's food. And I already said I don't drink, so you know that's food. Well, actually it's fat, but you get the picture. There's so jealousy. It's more than 10 Commandments. It's more than homosexuality. It's more than, I mean, there are so many things that anger God, you know. But we know about these things, and it's hard to stop doing them, isn't it? But if you heard God's voice and told you, it'd be a lot easier, wouldn't it? I mean, I'm telling you, if God told me tomorrow, go walk the earth 40 years, first off, I'd be thankful he's giving me another 40 years, because I'd be 93 years old, so that's cool. Second off, if God said do it, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Doesn't matter. If he told me to go by myself, I'm going by myself. If he said just you and your wife, well, just me and my wife's going. And if she tries to say, I'm not walking there 40 years, I'll be like, God said so, get your stuff, we're walking. And, you know, I don't know, man, they were very rebellious. I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. I mean, the God who created you is telling you what to do, and you're bucking him. Sure, that's so smart. That proves God's got patience of more than any of us put together. Let me tell you. Get going 17, shall we? Then the Lord said to Moses, tell the people of Israel to bring you 12 wooden staffs, one from each leader of Israel's ancestral tribes, and inscribe each leader's name on his staff. Inscribe Aaron's name on the staff of the tribe of Levi, for there must be one staff for the leader of each ancestral tribe. Place these staffs in the tabernacle in front of the ark containing tablets of the covenant, where I meet with you. Buds will sprout on the staff belonging to the man I choose. Then I will finally put an end to the people's murmuring and complaining against you. So Moses gave the instructions to the people of Israel, and each of the 12 tribal leaders, including Aaron, brought Moses' staff. Moses placed the staffs in the Lord's presence in the tabernacle of the covenant. When he went into the tabernacle of the covenant the next day, he found that Aaron's staff, representing tribe of Levi, had sprouted, budded, blossomed, and produced ripe almonds. Well, that's weird, but it's God, he can do anything. When Moses brought all the staffs out from the Lord's presence, he showed them to the people. Each man claimed his own staff, and the Lord said to Moses, "Place Aaron's staff permanently before the Ark of the Covenant to serve as a warning to rebels. This should put an end to their complaints against me and prevent any further deaths." Look who's coming to see us. So Moses did as the Lord commanded him. Then the people of Israel said to Moses, "Look, we are doomed, we are dead, we are ruined. Everyone who even comes close to the tabernacle of the Lord dies. Are we all doomed to die? Don't go near the tabernacle." Yes, Brett. Oh, and that's in 17, by the way. What? What's wrong with you? Brett, what are you doing? You want to say hi to the camera? You want to say hi to the camera? Here. You see the people? You see them? You see them people there? This is Mittens. She's a Lynx Point Siamese. She's a brat. And the other one who you've seen in videos is Gremlin. We had two other ones, but they both passed away in 2021. The puffer fish, because she was white, fluffy, and when she was born, she looked like a puffer fish. So we named her Puffer Fish. She died of breast cancer, and, well, she didn't actually die from it. We had to have her put down because she was suffering pretty bad, so we didn't want to see her suffer anymore. And Buddy well, he was just old. He was 18 years old, and he lived out his life. He started going downhill pretty fast, and he did actually die here at home, which I was happy for that because I didn't want him, I couldn't even watch him put down Puffer, so I'm glad we didn't. I'm glad he passed away here in a familiar place, And then we got both of them cremated, and their ashes are in there on the shelf. So, but I'm not getting any more animals because I get way too attached to them, and it really messes with me. It is pretty rough, so I don't know. They say I'm a empath or whatever, but I don't know. I just know I get really attached to animals, and I don't, man, her purr. Y'all hear that purr? I can't. I already can't deal with death thanks to Arlington, and that might have something to do with it. I don't know. But what? Look at this brat, man. Y'all probably can't see her. She's flopping all over the place, wanting petted. You want out of the room, you wouldn't want out of it unless I had a door open or a door closed. You're spoiled. You are spoiled rotten and shedding like crazy. You're shedding like crazy. Anywho, I lost my original train of thought. This cat's got a good way of making that happen. I hope y'all got something out of today. I know I sure did. Oh, now you're going to get comfortable finally. You catch something else, I tell you. They're spoiled. Please tell me y'all can hear her purring. She has a very throaty purr. Y'all hear that? It's very chatty too. When she sees a bird at the window, she'll sit there, she starts chattering. Funny. think it's Siamese in her. I don't know. Anywho, hope y'all got something out of today. I know I did. Once again, that the Israelites are, as God said it himself, stiff-necked people. Until next time, you don't tell them goodbye, Mittens. She don't care. Till next time, I love each and every one of you. Y'all please, please, please be good to each other. I'll bring you something again real soon.